Hey friends, welcome or welcome back if you are new here. My name is Jess, and this summer things are going to look a little bit different around here. When I started this summer series, I intended for this to be a summer of productivity, completing projects, finishing draft 2, working on creative projects, other creative projects, my art, the new Etsy shop I started, and just all of the different endeavors that I had going on. But over the last month and a half, so many things have changed. My husband ended up in the hospital for a couple of weeks. If you are new, you may not know my husband is a kidney transplant patient, currently on dialysis, so that takes up a lot of our time as well. It really affects his health, and unfortunately, like I said, he ended up in the hospital for a couple of weeks and ended up having to have 2 toes amputated. So that has really affected our normal everyday lives at home and our normal routines, and it has just taken a lot out of me to go from already being his caregiver to really fully truly being his caregiver, having to kind of do and get everything for him as he couldn't really move around. Full-on caregiving has really taken a lot out of me, and I've realized that I cannot keep pushing myself the way that I was in this season. I just don't have that capability physically, mentally, emotionally, just in any way. I don't have the energy to do all of that. So I am switching things up a little bit, and I'm going to tailor things to what I'm capable of in this season. So let's talk about what's going to be going on. So I've had a lot of time to sit and reflect and think, and just kind of figure out what I'm doing, what I want this summer to look like, what I want my life to look like. I have spent so much of my life, but especially the last few years, in, I'd say 2020, I discovered Bookstagram, and immediately, not just Bookstagram, but Bookstagram and BookTube, and just immediately loved it. I didn't realize that there was like a space for readers in that way, and I dived in head first. I wanted to be part of Bookstagram and eventually BookTube, and since then, since 2020, I haven't really stopped. I had done YouTube a little bit before that, on and off, but 2020, when I discovered Bookstagram, is when I really dove in, and I have been doing social media and doing BookTube or doing YouTube kind of nonstop since then. I have had different kind of iterations of the channel. I've done a lot of vlogging type things. I did a lot of vlogging during COVID, a lot of book content, and then last year I made the shift to, or actually I think it's been more than a year now. It might be almost 2 years that I made the shift to AuthorTube. So I haven't really allowed myself the opportunity to slow down since 2020. If I no longer felt aligned with what I was doing, then I just pivoted, but I never actually really fully stopped, maybe for like a few weeks or a couple months, but never truly like fully stopped. And so I have been going and doing different things, trying different things for years, for 6 years almost. And none of those things are inherently bad. It's just I've never really given myself the opportunity to rest. I am always doing something between working full-time, caring for Nick. I also have a part-time VA job. I've had a couple of different Etsy shops, all of my various hobbies and interests. I'm always doing something. I never allow myself the chance to just sit and rest, relax, watch TV. Even if I'm watching TV or watching a movie or whatever, I'm also reading, or I'm also doing VA work, or I'm also doing art on the side, or I'm also trying to write. I'm always multitasking and doing multiple things, and part of that is my ADHD, but I'm never truly allowing myself to just fully sit and relax. And I've just really realized how much I've been kind of running myself ragged, and how being a caregiver, I think this is just inherent as a caregiver, you tend to focus so much on the other person that you forget to take care of yourself. Last year I was diagnosed, or it might be 2 years now actually, that I was diagnosed with diabetes, and for so long I have just known in the back of my mind that I have that diagnosis, but I still haven't really focused on myself, on what I'm eating, on keeping myself healthy, making sure I'm getting enough water, enough rest, enough sleep, exercise, movement, all those things. Between all of the things that I'm doing, between focusing on Nick, I never really allow the focus to be on myself. And I'm constantly checking boxes, having to-do lists. I can't tell you when the last time I didn't have some kind of to-do list, like every single day. So much of my life is checking boxes, setting goals, optimizing my time. And again, there's nothing inherently wrong with with any of those things. Those are all good things, but I think I've taken it to such an extreme. And again, I never allow myself the opportunity to step back or to rest. And in all of those things that I have done, I have accomplished so many things in the last few years. When I started BookTube, my YouTube has not grown exponentially in any way. I'm definitely a small channel, but in the last couple of years, I did go from about 40 followers to now over a little over 300. So that is something. I have written several first drafts of several books, which, is obviously an accomplishment. I've had several clients through my VA part-time work, and have had a couple of different Etsy shops, like I said. And even though I was accomplishing all of those things, it has never felt like enough. I always am looking towards the next thing. I'm definitely like a futuristic person. I'm always looking to the future. I'm always thinking about what our future is going to look like. But again, I never have a sense of that any of the things I'm doing are enough. So as I spent all these weeks just kind of thinking and stepping back from YouTube a little bit and deciding, really coming to the realization that I'm not taking care of myself and that I'm pushing myself too hard and that I just can't keep all of the balls in the air, juggling everything while I have all of this going on with Nick, and that I really just need to take a step back, or I'm going to burn myself out, cause myself to, God forbid, end up in the hospital or something. And then obviously that doesn't just impact me, that could hugely impact him. So for my own sake, my own health, my own everything, and as well as him secondary, I came to the realization that it's time to step back and do something different. Recently, Sarah Cannon on Heart Breathings talked about her Project 180, and I immediately fell in love with it. I love a project. I love a challenge. Typically in November, I think most people aren't doing nano anymore, but that kind of idea of like a challenge, I just love like gamifying and theming anything. It just makes it easier for me to like follow through if I can get excited about it and like theme it and have a title for it and whatever. So I've watched all of Sarah's Project 180 videos, and originally it was going to go along with what I had in mind for the summer series. All about my writing, productivity, getting as many things done as I could, hustling, all those things. But again, I realized that I cannot do that. So over the last few days, I have sat down and decided how I'm going to kind of restructure Project 180. And I realized that it doesn't have to be about hustling and productivity and reaching this end goal or success, all those things. For me, it can be about slowing down. I can do the exact opposite. It can be about slowing down. It can be about rest. It can be about doing the things that bring me joy. So much of my life is about someone else that I need to take time when I can to do the things that mean the most to me. So that is what I'm doing. And of course, I'm going to bring you guys along with me. Hopefully you guys will be okay with that. Again, I did kind of change the like niche of the channel to be about writing a year or two ago. And for a little while, writing will not be the main focus. If I feel like writing, I will do so. So there may be a little bit of writing still sprinkled in, but the main focus of the channel, at least for the next little bit, will not be writing. So hopefully you guys will be okay with that. Hopefully you'll still come along on the journey with me. Maybe we'll find some new friends who are choosing to step back as well and have a slower summer. Some friends who are also caregivers and taking care of other people, or have illnesses themselves. Yeah, so Project 180 for me started actually in June, so from June 1st to December 1st. But again, I did not expect that most of June, or a good portion of June, Nick would be in the hospital. So June was just kind of a rest month, just kind of not a throwaway month, but a month where I spent time reevaluating everything. A month of reevaluation, we'll say that. I have come to realize that I hate summer. I think I have like the reverse of seasonal depression. During summer, I am hot, I'm tired all the time, I'm thirsty all the time, I have zero motivation. I really want to be outside, but it's so hot that I just can't be. And I just don't feel as motivated in the summer, especially when it comes to writing. Again, like it seems like the whole writing community just kind of comes alive in the fall from like October through December. And that is my favorite time of year. That is when I feel the most motivated to write. That is when all the challenges are going on. That is when BookTube, or not BookTube, but AuthorTube kind of comes alive, and just all the things. So I'm going to put my writing on hold for now. Like I said, I might write it a little bit here and there, but by and large, I'm going to kind of set writing aside for now and let it come back, to focus or the center in the fall when things kind of kick off for everybody. And right now, again, like I said, I'm going to focus on slowing down. So even though Project 180 itself is going to be from June to December, I'm going to take a chunk of those months, 3 months of that time, so half of that time, from July through September, and that is going to be my rest months. Kind of my time to rest, refocus, reset, rejuvenate, all the R words, before fall starts and my little soul comes back to life when Halloween starts and all of the challenges and everything starts. That way I will be hopefully clear-headed and rested and ready to jump right back in what everybody else is kind of jumping in as well. So for the next 3 months, I am going to be choosing rest over hustling and curiosity over pressure and creating a life that feels purposeful and intentional, but very low stakes and low pressure. I've realized over the last couple of weeks that life isn't something that I have to race through. I'm not really living if I'm constantly looking to the future and only focusing on the future. I'm kind of missing everything if I'm not living in the moment. I don't want every day to feel like I'm either trying to catch up. There are so many days when I feel like that when my energy is low, or like I'm just so focused on the future that I'm missing everything that's happening right now. I have worked really hard to be where we are. We have a beautiful brand new house. We have, cars that we like. We have 2, dogs that we love. We have good jobs, and normally we're able to travel. Things have gotten a little bit shaky financially recently because of all his doctor's bills, but on the whole, we are pretty stable financially. And we've worked really hard to get where we are. And I don't want to miss out on those things or let those things be a waste because I'm so focused on constantly hustling. So over the next 3 months, my slow summer, as I'm calling it, I am going to be focusing on, also, if you see me looking down, it's because I have notes over here. I'm going to be focusing on things like health, my diabetes management, movement, getting better sleep, reading. My reading has been very slow over the last couple of years because I'm forcing myself, or I'm so focused on the numbers of how many books I'm reading. That's kind of a holdover from BookTube and Bookstagram. And reading is something that I love so much, and lately I have just been feeling a lot of resistance towards it. So I am, again, that's another thing that I'm kind of slowing down on and reading what I feel like reading when I feel like reading it and not forcing myself. I want to keep doing my art. That's something that I kind of found recently thanks to friends in the Discord server, and I want to keep doing that. I really want to get back into journaling and learning about meditation and breath work. I want to get time outside as much as I can in this heat, and doing library trips and bookstore trips. And I want to do like a personal curriculum and learn about new things and go down rabbit holes. And I want to create things just for fun. I recently started an Etsy shop. I know that I said that I'm going to slow down on working, but I recently started an Etsy shop for stationery, but that kind of includes my art, and I actually really enjoy doing it. So while I'm enjoying doing it, I'm going to continue to do it. If there comes a point where I'm feeling resistance towards it, then I will stop. Writing, if inspiration comes and I feel the desire to write. Yes, hopefully you can still hear me over the AC. I'm sitting in my car, as you can see, and I had the AC off, but I had to turn back on because I'm literally like dripping sweat. It is 90, that's not even that hot. It's 91 degrees right now, but I'm like so hot. I had to turn it back on. So hopefully you can hear me. So what can you expect to see here on the channel? I'm hoping that in future videos, I'll be able to show you guys my slow mornings and coffee breaks and library days, bookstore trips, cooking healthier meals, journaling, talk to you about what I'm reading, things I've learned in my, rabbit holes, and quiet weekends we're having, cozy evenings, adventures we might go on, give you updates on Nick's health, things like that. I really want this channel, some of my favorite channels, my favorite creators, people like Blair Lamb, and I'll tag all these people down below, Blair Lamb, Jen Lefforge, their channels are somewhat about like hustling and business and that kind of thing, but they're very much about their lives and the things that they're doing and experiencing and learning, and places that feel peaceful and calm and not solely about hustling and creating and success and that kind of thing. And that is what I want this channel to be for the next 3 months. Things are so crazy in the world right now, and it's especially crazy in my own life, and everything's so loud and just constantly going. I want this to be a place where I can come, where you guys can come, to just slow down and relax and just fully live life. On conversations with friends and what I've seen people say in Discord and on other YouTube channels, I know that so many of us feel burnt out, whether it's because of work or our own, your own needs or needing to hustle and always feel like you're doing something and always feel like you're not doing enough and just constantly pushing and putting pressure on ourselves, yourselves. So maybe you're also feeling burnt out. Maybe you feel like you're measuring your worth by what you can accomplish and it never feels like it's enough. Maybe you have forgotten what it's like to slow down and rest. Maybe you've forgotten what brings you joy. That's you. I hope you will come along with me. Maybe you'll decide to do a slow summer yourself. If not, I hope you'll at least follow along with me and spend this summer with me. So I don't know exactly what the next 3 months are going to look like. I'm really trying to lean into my own desires and what brings me joy and what I feel like doing at any given time and any given moment. I'm going to talk about this a little bit more in maybe a later vlog, but I found this idea. I think it was a blog post on Pinterest talking about menus, creating your own menus. And so basically you take different categories. So for me, it is like movement, creativity, learning, and you create, so like under the heading movement, you can put running, walking, yoga, dancing, a HIIT workout, lifting, whatever it is. And then under learning, you can do a podcast, a book, a documentary, whatever it is. And then on any given day, you go and you choose two or three things off of your menu, and you do those things. Whatever it is you feel like. And they're not things you have to do. You're choosing whatever jumps out to you that day, whatever moves you that day, whatever brings you joy, whatever makes you feel peace that day, whatever feels cozy to you that day. And I love the idea of that. So I already kind of did that in the journal that I'm using over the next few months. So again, I'll talk a little bit more about that in another video. But I don't know exactly what these vlogs are going to hold, what exactly the next few months are going to look like. I'm just really letting my desires and what I feel like in any given day to lead the way. I'm really giving myself the permission to follow my curiosity, to follow my passion, to rest, to create when inspiration comes, to notice the little things. That's something that I'm going to be kind of journaling about, are the little things that I'm noticing throughout my day. To take care of myself, my body, my health, my mental health, to move a little bit slower. And if these sound like things that you need too, or that you're interested in watching and following, then I hope that you will do so. Please give this video a like. Subscribe if you aren't already. Let me know down below what your summer is going to look like, what you're doing, if any of this resonates with you. Every week I will be sharing some chapter of Project 180 of my slow summer, of what's been going on or what I'm doing. I may have like certain themes for each video. I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm still kind of brainstorming and figuring everything out. Until next time, I hope that you will take a deep breath, slow down, get outside if you can in the heat or climate of wherever you are. A few pages, drink some water, take a nap. Remember that you don't have to earn a slow day.